Hi, my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, Gabby on Paper. In today's video, I am going to go over my debt-free journey and kind of show you where I'm at now. So let's go ahead and get started. So first I'm gonna go over, when I started and what caused me to get started on my debt-free journey. What was like that final straw that was like, okay, let's get this done. So it was back in 2019, I had been saving to move out with my boyfriend for the first time. We had already been together for a while, but we were getting our own apartment for the first time, so I had just dumped all of my money into savings to prepare for the move so we could buy new furniture and buy nice things and stuff. And so we did it. It was good. In about July or August of 2019, my boyfriend found himself in a ton of debt, and he really wasn't able to pay much with his income. So he picked up a side hustle and I helped him with it and got some money from that. We both decided to get serious on our debt and start paying it down. At that time I was making more than him, so I had a lot more extra income to pay towards my debt, so I was able to do mine a lot faster than he was, but he did eventually get that taken care of by increasing his income with side hustles and then getting a new job that just increases pay so much more. And I hope that one day he will feel confident enough to come on here and explain his debt-free journey, because it really is an interesting one. It's a lot different than mine and what I assume a lot of people's are. So in about August 2019, we decided, let's go ahead, let's pay off our debt, let's be good. So he became my accountability partner, and it's something I definitely needed, because prior to that, I would, rack up my credit card, pay it off, but before it got to a zero balance, like the payment was pending on my account, before I had it even posted, I would rack it back up again. It was the craziest thing. I have always had a spending problem, with the exception of about a 2-year period of time where I was really focused on paying off my debt and increasing my savings. So in August of 2019, I paid off my very first credit card, and that was my Capital One, because there's two, and the amount was $366.58. Obviously that's not a high amount. I was quickly able to pay that off and move on to the next thing. This next item, I don't have the exact amount down to the penny, but it's pretty close to this. Within maybe I would say $25. So it's pretty close. So I paid off my Jetta, and that was about $3,600. Oh gosh, what I should have done is added the dates. I'll just make a note over here. So this one was paid off on 8/29/19. The Jetta was paid off on 9/25/19. And so obviously there's only a month difference there. It's how did I pay $3,600? That's a good chunk of change to pay in 1 month. But like I had mentioned earlier, I had saved up a lot of money for a move, and ultimately the move wasn't that expensive. So after I paid for all of that, I did still have I don't remember how much, but I'm gonna say $4,000 or $5,000 left, or $6,000 or something. So what I did was I paid down my debt. So I paid down and left $1,000 in savings per Dave Ramsey. So everything over $1,000 I threw towards debt. The first one was the Jetta. Yes. And at that, oh, I did forget to mention is like when my boyfriend found himself in debt, we started like listening to Dave Ramsey and just listening to his like podcasts, and that really gave us the motivation to get started, and like so we knew where to start. Ultimately, I didn't follow the Dave Ramsey plan, and I don't agree with his views, but it was a good starting point for us. So there's that. So my car was paid off. Then I move on to my Gap card, and that amount was $831.56. It was paid off on November 4th, 2019. Yeah, so I had saved my $1,000. I put money towards my Jetta, some money towards the Gap card, and then just started working on paying off the rest. From there, I moved on to my Capital One, the next Capital One. And let's see, that amount was $3,776.87. This one was paid off on January 17th, 2020. From there, I paid off my Nordstrom card, which the balance was $1,550.08. And this was paid off on February 7th, 2020. Okay, now this is where things deviate a little bit. I had decided to pause my debt-free journey to work on savings. I was working on, I'll tell you. Oh, and this is my new calculator. I decided to take my little one to work just because I like having a physical calculator. I just prefer it that way rather than, on the computer. And so I bought this new one and I like it because it's bigger. But for savings, so I stopped after I paid off my Nordstrom card on February 7th, and I focused all of my energy on saving money for a March Madness trip. My boyfriend and I like to go to a gambling town, Wendover, Nevada, near Salt Lake City, about an hour and a half away, for March Madness, and that was my gambling budget. So $500 for March Madness, because our hotels were always paid for with our rewards cards or whatever. Then for his birthday, I had 2 family birthdays, and then I was planning a trip to Vegas in May. So I was trying to save up $3,250. I didn't get to that much, but I did get to, was $2,800. That's how much I had saved. Yep. The goal was $3,250. I got to $2,800 because COVID hit. So obviously February 7th, 2020 was prior to COVID really being a big deal here in the US. It wasn't until March 17th. March 17th is when I moved to work from home. I think like March 15th is when like restaurants shut down and everything. So I, at that time, was hopeful. I was like, oh, I'm going to be fine. We're going to be able to go to March Madness. This will be over in like a week or two. I'm going to be able to go to Vegas, no problem. So I was still saving money, expecting this to end, and look where we are now. But, so I was still working on savings. Once it became clear that no, I'm not going to be able to go to March Madness or go to Vegas, I put some of that money towards my next credit card, and that was my Wells Fargo credit card. In the amount of $4,426.90. This was paid off on May 1st, 2020. So basically what I had done is I had paused my debt payoff to save money. Okay, so I had paused it for 2 months. April 3rd of 2020, I had started paying off my Wells Fargo card. Obviously, that's less than a month that I paid off $4,426. This is what came into play. For my savings, I had put $635. Then we got a stimulus. That was $1,200. And then the rest was just OT. I worked in a field that was heavily impacted by COVID in a way that it gave us just like crazy more work, just like 10 times more work than we were experiencing pre-COVID. So there was like a lot of overtime available. We were working, depending on the person, between 15 and 20 hours of overtime per week were available to us. And in the very beginning, I was working the full 15 hours per week. So I was very tired all the time. I was working 6 a.m. to like 7 or 8 p.m. every day, Monday through Friday. So it was a really crazy time, but it did allow me to just save up a ton of money and pay this off, pay off $4,400 save $2,800, pay $4,400 in a matter of 2 months. So it was a miserable time, but it was also very good for my finances because we couldn't go out to eat, and I hate like takeout or delivery. I don't do that, but we couldn't go out to eat, so I was just eating all my meals at home. We couldn't travel anywhere. Obviously 2 trips got canceled, and then I just had crazy amounts of overtime, which allowed me to pay this off so quickly. So the total for this was $366.58, $3,600, $831.56, 3776.87, 1550.08, 4426.9. So let's see, $14,551.99. I'm gonna check that really fast. Yeah, so that was my debt-free journey. May 1st, I was officially debt-free. I'd paid off $14,551.99 in about 8 or 9 months. I had paid off the $14,551.99, including $2,800 in savings, so that was really good. So my celebration, obviously not having been able to go out to eat for so long, and I was missing my favorite restaurant, so I did end up getting Benihana to go, and it wasn't worth it. I paid like 50 bucks, and I just do not like takeout. I like to eat my food at a restaurant when it barely comes out. I don't like to wait till it gets home, and spending that kind of like $50 on a meal to take home and then it's not great. I was not a fan. But that was my celebration meal. And then, yeah, I was doing really well from May until recently. I had saved up a ton of money, still working overtime, not as many hours. I was shooting for more like 8 hours per week of overtime, and then I just stopped. So the rest of 2020, I spent saving money. 2021, I saved more money, and then I actually took about I totaled about 3 months off of work unpaid because I was just so burnt out and stressed, and I was over it. So that did impact my savings because I was living off of savings. I then returned to work, worked for a little bit, and then quit to move to Chicago. In a future video, I will go over how much money I had saved, how long it took me, and I think if I can gather up the information, how much I spent on our move. But for now, I wanted to go into the second part of the video, which is my debt confession. Okay, this is the part I'm dreading. Oh God. Nordstrom, $475.41. Old Navy, really it's a Gap card, but I made most of my purchases at Old Navy, so I got confused, but $544.38. And Apple, $749.25. So let's add that up. Christ. Wow, I was not expecting that number. I'm gonna check my math just in case. I should have done rough math. It's just seeing it all together in this big number down here. It's kind of shocking. Way less shocking than this one was. I don't know. And it's really crazy because when I had paid off my debt and had saved up a bunch of money, I'm like, I'm in the position to never be in debt again, with the exception of buying a house, like a condo or something. Maybe buying a car. I don't know. The car things, maybe. If I did buy a car and got a loan, I would try and pay that off as quickly as possible while still saving, so I wouldn't attack it like I did this. But anyways, the point is that I really thought I would never be in debt again, but here I am. It's just a matter of like overspending. Like, I love and hate spending money. I just get such a high from shopping, and it's always been this way. And my mom is the one that first told me that I got a high from shopping, and she was so right. And obviously I'm still struggling with it. This is all this debt, with the exception of my car, it's just shopping, going on trips, and spending more than I had budgeted for, that I had saved for. And just like little things that I don't even know. I have no idea what I spent $14,551 on, with the exception of my car. It's just little tiny things. I don't know. And pretty much the same thing. $475. So this $544.38 is my shopping from going back to work. I bought a lot. I had actually spent closer to like, I want to say like $1,500 with the intention of returning a lot, because I bought a lot of things that were double. I bought, you know, multiple colors, trying to find the right thing. That's just I prefer to shop that way, get it all at once, and then return. And I do return. I'm not one that holds on to returns forever. And then from this, there is a possibility that I'll be returning 2 items, so that might go down a little bit, but for now, that's where my balance is at. The Nordstrom, just shopping. And then Apple, this was my iPad. I randomly decided I needed to get the 12.9-inch iPad Pro when I had a perfectly good 11-inch iPad Pro that I had bought a few years prior, and I wanted to do it, and I did it, and I love it, but I shouldn't have. And this one is 0% interest, so this is not a huge priority. I'm just gonna make the payments because, like, again, 0% interest. So it's just like an extra monthly charge. It's not costing me anything. I really need to focus on paying these 2 down and working on building my sinking funds so that this doesn't happen again and I can just pay for it. But anyways, the other thing I wanted to mention is I know some of my spending triggers, but I just don't know how to control them. When I'm stressed, when I'm like anxious, bored. I haven't board shopped in a while, so that's been good. It's more like I've had a stressful little while, and something that makes me feel good and in control is buying stuff, and that's what I did. Ultimately, like, I did need to buy work clothes. Did I need as much as this? Probably not, but that's where we are. And I haven't removed the tags of things that I haven't used, and I'm gonna really take a look at those items and see if I actually wear them. If not, I will go in and return them. So, and hopefully, you know, maybe that can decrease a little bit, but for now, that's where I am. Now, in the future, I'm just gonna try and do better. I mean, what else can I do? It's a struggle. But I'm never gonna say again that I'll never be in debt, because that is clearly not the case. It's something that I have to work on all the time to really restrict myself, and this doesn't show it, but I do. I hold back a lot. But yeah, that's where we are now. Now this is on paper, and I see this giant number, and I know it's nothing. It's not even anything compared to this, but like, I just really never thought I'd be here again. I'm going to come up with a plan to pay off my debt. Yes, so that'll be coming up in a future video. I've been so busy with my new job and just some things I've going on personally that I really haven't had time to like plan and budget and figure out what my next steps are. So it's something I hope to do once things calm down here, and hopefully soon, because I can't take much more of it. But that'll be coming, and it'll also be good, like, once I know exactly how much I'm getting paid after you know, with my new job, and it'll be nice to figure out how much I get paid each paycheck. Since I am salaried, it'll be pretty much the same, and then I can really get to work on this. So that is where I am today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. It was kind of a hard one to film. I know my sister and my boyfriend are gonna be a little shocked when they watch this, because yeah, I didn't want to share, but I gotta. It's the only way I'm gonna get this paid off and get it under control. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.